It is perhaps the most comprehensive book ever written about Muhammad Ali. The author in town today, Jonathan Eig, speaking at the main library tonight. Thanks for staying with us at 4:30. It took the author 4.5 years to write this biography, warts and all. Eig says Ali was a complicated man who always loved people and wanted to be loved in return. Jonathan Eig says he didn't pull any punches about the greatest in his new book, Ali. He says it's an honest portrayal of a very complicated man who had many contradictions. What led you to Ali?
Well, I loved him as a kid. I had his poster on my ceiling. I looked at him every day, every night, and when I got old enough to realize just that he was so much more than a boxer, that he really changed our country, changed the world, and nobody had written a full-blown biography yet. Obviously, there have been many wonderful books written about Ali over the years, but nobody had done the big take on his whole life.
Eig will tell you Ali was a 50-50 blend of his parents, his mother's kindness, his father's flair. A young Cassius Clay who had difficulty in school, his family says he was dyslexic, but he was always a charmer, always wanting more, always wanting to be rich.
His father would say, "You can't get rich. Just look at the color of your skin. You know, you're dark. You're not going to get rich. That just doesn't that doesn't happen for us." But Ali didn't believe it. He thought that he could prove his father wrong.
The boxing ring would become his vehicle to fame and fortune, a brashness unlike anything the world had ever seen before.
I am America. I am the part you won't recognize, but get used to me. Black, confident, cocky, my name, not yours, my religion, not yours, my goals, my own, get used to me. And that was really important. That was like a declaration of independence. That was him saying, the world is changing, and you folks who don't like it, tough luck.
A warrior for racial pride and justice and taking a stand for his beliefs. Changing his name and religion and paying the price when he refused to go to the Vietnam War.
He paid the price in the ring. He took too many punches over the course of his career, and he paid the price out of the ring. You know, he lost 3.5 years of his prime because he refused to compromise, refused to fight in Vietnam, and that made him incredibly unpopular.
And if he were here today, Eig believes he would be encouraging athletes, especially black athletes, to keep taking a stand, even a knee.
He'd be furious that we're still having that debate, that we're saying that these athletes should just shut up and dunk their basketballs and throw their footballs. That's ridiculous.
Ali's still carrying the torch for so many about standing up for what you believe. Other parts of his life not so black and white, but more complicated.
And there were times that I got really mad at him when he didn't treat his wives all that well, or when he changed his mind and came out of retirement over and over, or even when he seemed to abandon some of the principles that mattered the most to him.
Eig says his book offers a fuller picture of the man, flaws and all. A man who was full of contradictions, saying he was the greatest, but yet so humble.
The greatest of all time.
A boxer in a brutal sport, but a man who always loved people and wanted to be loved in return. He was loved, that's for sure. And one other note, Eig is working with filmmaker Ken Burns on an Ali documentary. Look for that coming out in 2020. You can hear Jonathan Eig tonight at the main library on York Street at 7 p.m. The event is free. You do need a ticket to attend. You can call the main library for more information.